Hello and welcome to Mollie's Motif. I am going to be putting together a card today for a few challenges. There's a challenge going on over at Exploring Cricut that's entitled What's Cooking, and I'm going to be following a sketch from Mojo Monday, and Hiding in My Craft Room has a challenge. It's LOL, but it doesn't stand for Laugh Out Loud. It stands for Lots of Layers, and I'm definitely layering up this card. So I'll just kind of go through what I'm doing and how I'm putting it together. I am going to be using an image from the From My Kitchen cartridge, and if you spend a lot of time in the kitchen, I love this cartridge. I love the option of making a recipe book out of this one. I love all the words and the font on this. They don't have like a individual font letters, but they have the phrases and the words that they have. I love the font that they've used. But they have the recipe tabs and just some great kitchen images, appliances, and lots of different foods, and I love it. So if you have the chance to get this cartridge, I would definitely recommend it. And the cut that I'm going to be using is from page 51. It's the Fun Apron, but I didn't want to make the apron as it has it laid out for you. I didn't want to put the apple. There's like a little apple image on the top of the apron, and I didn't want to do that. So I didn't want to have the little score marks, line marks that show you where to put it. So I went ahead and just cut the black out, and then, put the pockets where I wanted to. I didn't necessarily need the outline for where the pockets went, but I didn't cut the base image. I just cut the black out and went from there. So here is the apron that I put together, and so the blackout, I found some fun paper from Nana's Kitchen Matte Stack, and I'll go through that in a minute, but it's just this pink and yellow and white crisscross pattern, and I really liked it. I thought it would look cute for an apron. So I cut the blackout at 4 1/4 out of the fun pattern paper, and then I did the shift apron, so it's just the base key, but I just did shift in this hot pink to get the hot pink trim around the waist and the neckline, and then I did my layer function out of the hot pink to get the trim at the bottom and the top and the back of the pocket, so that has the little scallop trim on there. And then I did my shift layer just to get the two pockets, and I cut that out of some fun glitter yellow paper, but I didn't use the other layer pieces that come with both of those because I didn't want to put the apple at the top. I just wanted to leave that plain. So hope that makes sense. And then I did cut the shadow, so it's on a cream shadow. So that's how I got my apron. That's the image that I will be using, and I will go through just the layout of my card. I've just started just an A2 card, just out of this turquoise blue. So it'll open up like that. And then I have just a plain cream mat that'll go down first. And then my pattern paper, it's this fun glittery paper from Nana's Kitchen. And I picked this up on clearance at Joann's. I'm not sure if Die Cuts with a View still publishes this, or if you can find it, I'm not sure, but it's a fun kitchen paper pack. So there's lots of images, and I think it works perfect with the From My Kitchen cartridge. So there's just lots of fun colors, greens and blues. There's some reds, fun flowers. That one's really cute, this orangey flower checker. And there's some fun little tags that you could, cut out and put on your cards if you wanted. Just a barbecue set paper. So just some fun, and glitter. There's lots of glitter paper in here, which I love. So this is the one that I'm going to be using, is this fun glitter. It's kind of a bakery, lots of pastries and aprons and that sort of thing. So this is where the paper is coming from. So I've got that as my, main mat. And then just following the Mojo Monday sketch, I cut out an 1.5 inch mat, same color as my base card, and then cut out some blue glitter paper, and it's 1 3/8 of an inch wide, and then the length is just to match the mat on there. So that will go there. And then I do have a couple little banners that I'm going to be putting behind. Should have put those on first. So those will be going behind like that, something like this. And then I have my stamps that I'm going to be using. It's from a Fiskars stamp, and I picked this up. It was on clearance for 97 cents at Joann's, and it's called Recipe Madness, and I think it's a great stamp set, especially if you do your own recipe book and use, you know, the From My Kitchen, the tabs feature on that cartridge. It's got all of your categories of food. There's, you know, the word yummy, from the kitchen of, recipe rating, handmade just for you, my favorite, and then a bunch of fun images that you could color in. So I think it's really great. But the one that I'm going to be using is the circle stamp, and it just says family recipe, family recipe, family recipe, and it's got a little knife, or not a knife, a fork and a spoon image. And so that's what I'm using, and this is how it turned out. I think it's really cute. I really like how that's stamped, and so that will be going right there. And I did use, it's very faint, but it's from the same pattern paper pack. It's kind of a light yellow flowery paper. So that's what is on my two banners and the background of my stamp circle. And my circle I just cut from George at 1.5 inches plus a shadow. And my banners I did by hand. So I didn't use a cartridge for those. I just did those by hand. And then here's my apron, and I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape and just put that right there. And you know, you don't necessarily have to, this would be a fun recipe card, or even if you wanted to, you know, give a gift or a card to someone and put a recipe inside, that would work too. But this is kind of where I'm going with my card. I think it's really cute. So I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna, if I'm just gonna on the back or in the inside just put a recipe. I'm not quite sure, but this is how the front is gonna go. So I'll get this put together and we'll go from there. Okay, so I figured out what I was going to do with this card and who I was going to give it to and for what purpose. So I'll show you the inside and what I've done. But as far as the front, I've just gone ahead and adhered everything down with either some tape runner or foam tape. And because this middle section of the apron was already kind of popped up because there's so many layers, I just put some foam tape at the bottom and around the neckline. So that's the only place that I have foam tape. Everything else is just, you know, flush. But, so that's how the front turned out. And then the inside, I decided, if I can get it open, I decided that I was going to go ahead and write a recipe and give it to my friend. I had made cookies for her a while back, and she asked me for the recipe, and I just hadn't got it to her yet. So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to do that. I went ahead and from the same paper that I used on the banners and my stamp up front, I cut out one of the recipe tabs from my kitchen. I'll just show you here. It's on page 73, and it's this fun recipe tab, and it has a scallop top and then a little overlay that you can put on it. It also had some scallops, and I cut it at 3.5 inches, and it fit perfectly in the A2 size card. So I liked that. I liked the look of that. I thought that would be fun, and then I can just write the recipe or print it on the computer and attach it here, or, you know, however I decide to do that. But I do like how that turned out. And my stamp, I did use another stamp from the Recipe Madness stamp set from Fiskars. It's just the recipe rating, and it has the stars. And I mean, you could fill those in, or, you know, whatever, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. But I really like how it ended up, what I decided to use it for, so I'm excited to be able to give this to my friend. But this is my card, so I'll go ahead and get this linked up to those challenges that I had mentioned earlier, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I'd appreciate any comments or feedback that you'd have for me, And you can check out my blog, molliemugsblog.blogspot.com, and we will catch you next time.